If you've ever felt like the human equivalent of an empty parking spot, or said to yourself,
some people have bucket lists. I have buckets of other people's lists.
And then Keanu Reeves showed up and said he was going to make you disappear. Don't worry, we're going to show you how to fix it today.
No plans, baby. All right, folks, this is the big one. Fast 5 gave us a spark, and now it's time to set the whole thing on fire. Today, we take one beer name from last week's lineup and turn it into a full-blown feature film idea.
And this week's lucky winner is, drumroll please, No Plans.
Oh!
From Goose Island. If you watched us in the Fast 5 last week, you'd see that we decided to make a movie named after a beer that was really, really generic. So this isn't going to be too easy, but I think we had some good ideas from last week.
That's right. So, but if you're just tuning in, you have no idea what those ideas are. So will today be an action epic and some kind of rom-com with tons of emotional baggage? Maybe a horror flick? Or just a fever dream of nonsense?
Knowing us, it's probably going to be all of that with the inclusion of a sexy nun.
Always watch out for the third act sexy nun. She's coming, maybe. Exactly. All those things. Grab a drink, sit back. Let's see what kind of cinematic masterpiece or disaster we can whip up.
Yeah, so here we are, another feature presentation. But before we dive into this film, I want to remind you something very important. This podcast has no advertisements. Because let's be real, the last thing you need is an ad about a potato peeler shaped like a penguin, some miracle pill that supports optimal eyelid health. Nah, life's too short, as we're about to learn. Crack a beer, hit subscribe, and let's keep the weirdness where it belongs in this episode.
Yeah, because if you're buying penguin-shaped potato peelers, you've already given up on life's bigger questions. But you know what you haven't given up on? Us! We appreciate that. So let's dive into this feature film madness before someone tries to sell us Bluetooth socks. And as a reminder, if you're keeping track at home, we're still enjoying that delicious, was a deeper cut from Edmund's Oast. That's the beer that's still powering us through. And last week, if you missed it, you can now call into the show. Not live. You can leave us a voice message. We'll send more information about it on our Instagram, but it's on our website. Check that out. Link underneath this episode, too. Tell us whatever you want. If it has to do with the show, that's great. If you just want to call because you're bored and share some thoughts, maybe we'll share that, too. But feedback, ideas. Hey, this movie was fun. This movie stunk. You should have had the dump truck of doom be some twerking person in a nightclub. Let us know, and maybe you'll get on the show.
Yeah, I think my rule was if your message makes us laugh, it'll make the cut.
There you go.
And I did a poll on Spotify after Dump Truck of Doom, and resoundingly everyone voted for more dump truck twerking. The other option was more booty shaking, though. So
right.
That's me setting up a poll like a true politician.
We won. We've already
everyone voted for me.
Just by making the poll, you've already sealed your victory.
What's the best podcast? Beer Me That Movie or the one John and Harrison are doing right now?
I like that. All right, speaking of right now, let's get the heck into this movie, John. No plans.
No plans.
Planning out no plans. No plans sounds nice. Or does it?
Well, I guess we're going to find out.
I guess we are.
I think we did a pretty good job setting the pace. It got me... This was my favorite of last week's Fast 5 because of the framework that we had kind of patched together.
Yes.
About... So the main... What we're coming into this beer with is we know that it kind of involves a guy whose life story is that he doesn't have his own plans. So he's often just like, come help me move the couch and all that stuff. He's
the best kind of friend.
A great friend.
He's the best.
I wish he lived in my neighborhood.
Oh my gosh, had a big truck and was always ready to lift a couch at 7.
Yeah, I'll be over. I got I got everything you need. I got the moving straps. I'll be right.
I'll bring my own tools. Right.
And
I'll bring the pizza.
Yeah, do you want me to bring some food?
John's awesome.
Yeah, you
for
can't eat with
everybody
us.
else.
You're not eating with us.
You're just the help. Okay. Yeah, right. We kind of covered that in the Fast Five that Sean's life was basically a psychic to everybody else, which sounds
Sean,
great.
the name of the protagonist,
Yes.
the name of the person that checked
That's
this
right.
beer
If
in.
you're just tuning in again for the first time to the wonderful world of Remember That Movie, if you are the person that checks in the beer or submits the beer we try to make you the star. So thanks, Sean.
And
Congrats.
sorry, Sean.
And
Yeah.
also, oftentimes we apologize to that same person. It's a gift and a curse. You're famous for a day, but you might be
A man with no plan.
right, which there are worse protagonists in the Beer Breed That Movie universe.
Yeah, you could have been Kangaroo.
We're the first guy Kangaroo punches in the face.
True.
Kicks in the face. Anyway, okay. But we also mentioned in that Fast Five, and that's where I think things got interesting was, okay, no plan, Sean, awesome. What could go wrong? Well, it turns out the reason Sean's calendar has been so empty is he's kind of like a glitch in the Matrix. And funny I say Matrix because we said Keanu Reeves was going to be the character, the
I think
person,
it's-
the creature,
I
the
think
thing.
it's Keanu Reeves
Right.
dressed in black.
Yeah.
The audience can make their own assumption
Yes,
on whether
exactly.
he's God, fate, the
Yep,
universe.
yep,
It's Keanu
Yep.
Reeves.
It's
okay?
Keanu Reeves, though. That's for sure. Playing Keanu Reeves, who's, you're right, maybe some kind of an omnipotent thing. Delivering the news of, oh, sorry, Sean, you got to come with me. The reason you've been free basically your entire life to do whatever other people wanted you to do is because you weren't supposed to be here. You should have been never here at all, and we're going to take you back into the void. So come on, let's do that. And yeah, as you can imagine, Sean's not a fan of that. So that's how far we kind of got with the idea. Maybe we added that there kind of is a loophole Sean tries to figure out. We're going to hammer all that out right now because obviously Sean wants to stay here, but it's probably a little difficult to argue with some interdimensional being who's in charge of who lives and who dies, but maybe not impossible. And is Sean up to the task? We're about to find out.
Yeah, I think you'd be a fool not to. If Keanu Reeves shows up telling you that he's going to whisk you away into the ether,
Yeah.
try and negotiate.
Right. Ether's that cool new bar, Keanu. Let's go check
I
it
don't have any
out, bro.
plans. No.
I'm free. I don't know if you heard, but down for whatever. That
So-
probably does get Sean into some interesting. Yeah, I'll go back to Burning Man. I have nothing going on. Oh, Sean, you sweet, sweet thing. Anyway, okay. So let's kick this thing off. Where do we begin? Let's talk a little more about Sean. We always have fun kind of building up our characters and in doing so their world a little bit more to, get involved, invested in them, understand what's ticking underneath Sean's cranium there. So let's start there and build that out a little bit, John, with Sean himself.
Yeah,
Who-
so
yeah.
Sean, I think when we were dreaming this up in the Fast Five, I said someone like Owen Wilson.
Oh, you
And
did.
you
I said Luke
nailed
Wilson.
it by saying, how about Luke Wilson?
Yes.
That kind of
okay.
it doesn't have to be Luke Wilson. Maybe I kind of
like
have
that.
fun casting sometimes.
Yes,
but
we do.
Initially, I'm thinking of Sean's world looks kind of like Scranton, Pennsylvania, that you all know from
love
The
it.
Office,
Okay,
right? Like
perfect.
the restaurant is either Chili's or an Applebee's. It's a small suburb of
Yeah.
a bigger city that we don't
Slightly
even need to
bigger city,
mention.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not Philadelphia,
City.
just an area that has 2 Walmarts.
Exciting. Which one will I go to today?
Exactly.
The good one or the less good one?
Oh man, who doesn't live in a world where there's a good Walmart and a bad Walmart?
Right.
So this is the town that Sean lives in. His job. He has a job. He's
Yeah.
employed. He's
some
doing
office.
okay. He
Yeah.
lives by himself.
Yes.
Of course, not always having a lot of plans, but kind of makes his living in an office, punching the clock. He's not begrudging of that or anything. He's
Right.
honestly like I envision us painting him as kind of a really likable dude
Right.
that he just happens to always have free time.
Oh yeah, he's I would maybe not quite the golden retriever of a human, but he's someone who's default happy. That's like probably the only way this would work. I mean, you could be default sad and right, but I don't have any plans. But no, but that's not
Different film.
That's not Sean's vibe. It's no plans, happy
Yep.
to be free to help you move your couch or
I'm
cut
free
your
tonight.
hair or walk your dogs or whatever. He's just kind of happy about it, which is why maybe also he hasn't taken the moment yet, that beach, to be like, should I be doing more with my life? He just kind of wakes up happy every day.
Yeah,
Happy to be
I
alive.
I like this about Sean. He's not upset.
Right.
He's not upset about work. He's not
Yeah.
upset about his station in life.
Right.
And he has he has enough of we'll say a circle of friends or
Yeah,
people around
absolutely.
him that
Yeah.
they're not taking advantage of him, but they're like,
But also, they've kind of got a golden goose who, like, the first time his best friend asked him to help him, like move a kitchen table, and he said yes. And then he asked him a month later to help him pot some plants, and he said yes. It's kind of like, is this guy going to say yes every time?
I'm free for that too.
need
I noticed your
someone to lift
mailbox a
something.
little crooked. You want me to come back tomorrow?
Right, exactly. Sean's kind of
Sean's
amazing.
everyone's best friend, which is great for them,
Right.
and it makes Sean happy. But
Again.
this is the premise of the film. No plans is we have to build in a negative consequence for Sean.
And and I think because he's happy all the time, like whether you like it or not, a lot of the motivation for being a human is because you're not happy, you're not content, you don't have what you want, so you go and you work to go get that thing you think you
Bluetooth
need
socks,
to
potato
become happy.
shaped penguin
Find
peeler.
those potato peelers and the socks and the vitamin slippers and whatever. You got to work to get them. But again, like Sean is already kind of default happy, and he's got a roof over his head and a job and air in his lungs and shoes on his feet, whatever the cheese in his pocket and a dream in his eye. Or
That's Sean on I got air in my lungs and shoes on my feet. Yeah, I'll go to your kid's party.
Right, exactly right. And a strong enough back to lift all this stuff he keeps lifting. A lot of moving and shaking happening in this town. But anyway, so again, that kind of becomes a detriment for him because again, he's not forcing himself to reflect because he's just already content. We'll unravel this a little bit more as we keep going. But yeah, like he's always getting friends to ask him to run errands or help them move or attend kids' birthday parties. I imagine a scene of him like walking a bunch of cats for some crazy old lady, setting up the iPad for the retired guy down the street. A lot of
Do you want me to show you how to look for adult movies?
Right. Should I sync this with your iCloud?
Let me show you incognito mode. That's the only browser you need.
Right, exactly right. Oh my God.
Get me on the internet. For what? For what, Larry?
All the ladies.
Yeah.
Penthouse went under. I need something. 8 options. Okay. At least you're
you
upfront
can
about
look
it.
at pictures right on this thing. Well,
Right, exactly.
there's more than pictures. You got a minute?
Right. Right. But moving pictures. Amazing. How much does it cost? So you bought the iPad and you have the internet. It's all free. It's all in here. Well, most of it. The good stuff you got to pay for.
Here's my Wi-Fi password. Yeah.
Right.
Not overly nice, just overly available.
Yeah, I love that. Maybe he's fixing the plumbing in some single lady's house and completely missing the
Love
innuendos
this.
about pipes and plungers.
I don't think I brought the right size plunger. Shove it in there, Sean. It'll fit. No, I'm going to go back and get...
Right. Did you turn the air off? It's hot in your house. Why are you undressing? Is this... I'm here to fix
Do you want me to fix your air conditioner too?
I have time.
It's really hot in my bedroom, Sean.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you probably got a vent problem. I'll
get
come
in
back
there.
tomorrow.
Yes, get up in my vents. Okay, I will tomorrow. Have a great
I
night.
didn't bring my one-piece Dickies.
Be careful. Sleep in the bathtub. It's really warm in here and probably dangerous. So right, Sean's missing all these clues, right? Missing his life, but again, still happy, whistling home, excited that he has a chance to fix an HVAC system tomorrow. And I think it's probably, we were just talking about this, but probably useful to have him have like a friend, right? At least, and maybe it's a couple, maybe works with him, the husband and they have kids and stuff, and a lot of the time he's right helping them move things, fix things, whatever, because their life is crazy.
Yeah,
For
like
some of their own doing, all of their own doing.
friend, but also an equally like immediate next door neighbor.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, kind of the neighbor's making out like a bandit, and
Yes.
Sean gets to have, but I like this. So he's got a lot of friends that he helps, but he's got his good old neighbors, Brock and Elaine.
Okay. Love it.
Of course. Sorry if that's your exact neighbors'
Classic.
names.
Brock and
Elaine.
Brock.
They're one or two kids, and that becomes sort of we see a somewhat more foundational relationship between Brock and Elaine, just so
Right.
we have a couple more characters in the film.
Right. And Brock can almost serve as like his internal voice, someone who's just kind of actually not just taking advantage of Sean, but when he comes over and, you know, fixes the refrigerator that froze up again, or the garage door that's shutting on Brock's kid's bike and crashing it into the ground. Where's the kid? Oh, I didn't even think about that. I don't think it was under there. So, you know, he's kind of like, Sean, let's like, what are you doing, man? He's the one who kind of sits him down and maybe starts planting those seeds in Sean's head of like, it's amazing you're able to help us as much as you can, because, you know, all we do is work and then, you know, get elbowed in the head by our kids and then we wake up and do it all again. But like, you know, don't you want to go on vacation? Don't you want to do something yourself? And again, these ideas start hatching in Sean's head of like, I don't know, should I? I'm happy. You're happy. Your wife makes great beef stew.
Yeah,
I come over, I fix some
go to
stuff.
your kid's baseball game
Right,
next
exactly.
week. You just got moved to shortstop.
He's got quite the curveball. He's great at defense.
Yeah.
Got a natural with the leathers and the balls and the whatever. So
Is Brock and Elaine you in real life, Harrison?
might be. Oh boy, we could be here all night describing things I probably shouldn't. So, but I know I've walked in Brock's shoes. Certainly I am right now. And yeah, so and they'll probably come up a bunch. Brock and Elaine will, or at least like he's there a lot. But I think that'd be a good kind of moment early on in the film we see Sean just being right, everybody's, you know, handyman. But Brock and Elaine kind of treat him like a human, which he likes. But I wonder if it almost like not breaks his brain, but it's like, you know, he's so used to kind of going somewhere, doing a service, leaving, and this relationship with Brock and Elaine and their kids. He's kind of like, should I want this? Do I want this? How would I even get this? I have no plans, but every weekend I'm busy fixing half the town's problems. Not for me, but at least seeing that kind of has him hatch those thoughts. Okay. So now we have to,
and I think that actually that conversation you built with Brock saying like, you know, do you ever want to like do your own things and maybe ever think about that stuff? Like you nailed it. Like that's Brock treating Sean like a human.
Yeah.
And it's the first time we see someone kind of questioning. Anybody that's lived their life has felt a little bit like Sean and a little bit like Brock.
Yeah.
Sean never realized that life could be like Brock, where he has his own plan. So
Yes.
Brock kind of plants that seed. And I think that maybe not, but I like the idea that is what helps bring in Keanu Reeves to the fold. Like it's the first time we're watching this film and we see Sean and how happy and how great he is and how he's got this great life and he's helping everyone out and he's thrilled by it. And then he comes home and then later that night, a shrouded mystery man named Keanu Reeves, who may be omnipotent, shows up in his living room and he's like,
exactly. Wakes
found him.
Right. Wakes Sean up from a cold sweat as he hears someone rummaging around in his kitchen. And Sean just like, you know, Yvette, I said I'd fix the plumbing tomorrow in your HVAC.
Yvette,
what are you
yes.
doing? What are you doing here? Thinking it's Miss Lonely Hearts down the street. It's not. It's Keanu Reeves in a sick suit just standing in his kitchen, but confused because he's not in kitchens often because he's some interdimensional being. And standing there and they have this wild exchange. Where it's probably, I'm kind of imagining it being very like kind of run of the mill DMV type from Keanu's perspective of like, aha, there you go. Yep, there you are. That's you. Looking at his clipboard. Yep, there you are on this. My God, holy crow, you are quite the thing.
Me.
Right, yeah. We had no idea if you were even real until this moment. You popped up on a radar last night when Brock and Elaine were talking to you about their big trip they're going to do to the Bahamas, which is going to be huge for them because that's when baby number 3 comes along. But you were part of that conversation. That we've been looking for you forever. But you're finally, you never popped up in any meaningful anything before. It was all transactional and service based for you. It's like, which is kind of wild. You never had a real conversation. You don't have a lot of them with people. But you popped up last night. We
McDonald's cashier for everyone in your life.
Right. Exactly. You're just the guy that's there that helps people get the thing they need. But again, Brock and Elaine, it's a little bit different relationship. And obviously, Sean's like, what are you talking about? Who are you, spying on Brock and Elaine? I'm going to call the cops, yada, yada. And Keanu kind of shuts that stuff down. He's like, don't do that. It doesn't matter. We've got to go anyway. I got to get out of here. I really can't be down on planet Earth. I've done that before. And, well, just ask Pestilence how it worked out last time. Like, we had a lot of cleaning up to do, and it was my bad. I miscommunicated some things to some people.
I also, in my head, I like the idea that Keanu's full Keanu, and he's like,
100%.
He can do humor, but I like that. I want a voice, and it needs to be like cool Keanu, like, you have no plans.
Right, no plans.
You have no ambitions.
You duh. No, that's
you shouldn't exist.
Right.
I can't. I won't be so bold as to say that I can. Nick Nolte, sure. Keanu Reeves, I can't do that. I don't have enough leather.
But yeah, I like that he's right. A little sage like in his maybe delivery of this news, and it's still maybe going over Sean's head a little bit until it finally clicks, and Keanu's like, you got to go. You never were supposed to be here. But you're ready to sail on to that next big wave in the sky or whatever.
A little Point Break.
Break. And Sean's like, what are you talking about? Dead? I should be dead? He's like, well, you should never have really been alive. So let's not call it dead.
Can't be dead. You were never supposed to be here.
You were a 1. You should have been a 0. This is just a rounding error, essentially. But we need to get you off this planet. Like, did you ever wonder why you had no plans? This is it. You really weren't supposed to have any because you weren't supposed to be here in the first place.
We had no plans for you.
Right. Nothing was laid out.
Think of it as my mistake.
Right. You've never been sick. You've never had an accident in your car. You've never, nothing, no scars, no broken bones. Like, you just been floating through life. No wonder you're so happy and ready to help people. You never had back problems. You're 37. Your back doesn't hurt. What, are you kidding me? You didn't think that was weird, Sean? Like, come on, man. You didn't have this thought?
Now I want Keanu Reeves to be George Carlin.
Right. It's a mix. And so all this stuff's kind of hitting Sean. He's having maybe some sweats, his first panic attack, which is great because he feels alive. But yeah, so Keanu's like, we're going. You're dead. We're taking you to the void. But Sean doesn't want to leave, obviously. He likes being alive, as we all do, for better or worse. And, he's trying to, like we all do, bargain with this Keanu character to figure out how the heck he cannot go into the great beyond. And how does he do this? What does he do to get Keanu to be like, all right, I'll give you some time? Or does he just have time kind of built in for some reason?
I think even though Sean's guilty of never having his own plans, he also, there's enough spark in him that he doesn't want to just be deleted. So that's enough for Sean to say, look, you can't just take me away. Why not? You have no plans tomorrow. Right. No, actually, tomorrow I'm helping Yvette fix her HVAC.
Right.
And exciting. I did tell her that I would be back there. She's so hot in her. I told her to sleep in the bathtub.
Not attractive.
It's not safe for her. I think she was really confused. She kept saying like shove the plunger in, which was obviously
Right.
too big.
Let me take my
She was
pants
getting
off.
really excited about the plunger getting shoved in there. I really need to save her, and that just prompts him to start negotiating. Like, if you just give me a little bit of time to, resolve the promises I've made to people, I need like a couple of days, and then I'll take you away. Well, no,
Right.
don't take me away. So I think this is again, rough draft, but
Yeah.
we're able to learn that Keanos is like, look, okay, I can give you a week, but if you don't have any plans of your own that are real authentic plans that you've made that you're going to do, then when I come back here in a week, I'm taking you away.
Right, exactly. You got to have purpose in your life or you're out of here, man. Like, you're not supposed to be here. I shouldn't be doing this, but the bylaws are bylaws, and you're asking for a second chance, and we tend to honor those things in the universe. So, all right, I guess you get one.
Keanu pulls out a phone. He's like, let me make a phone call, and dials, and then his earpiece starts ringing.
Right.
Okay, yeah, we have to give him a week.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Fine. The fates are the fates. Even though they had no record of you, now they do, and some interesting things are happening. So I got to figure stuff out upstairs. But I'm coming back here in 7 days, whether you like it or not, and we're getting out of here. So good luck trying to change your destiny. But I've never seen it happen before. But whatever. Yeah. So he leaves
And
it
then
off.
he goes behind the fridge.
Right.
That's his exit. Like, because what the hell is behind your fridge? No, none of
Nobody
you know.
knows. Don't look now.
Keanu
Don't
just
touch
sticks
it.
his hand and just goes back there.
Right, a dust bunny flies out. I love that. So yes.
One old Lego. Yeah.
Right. That's where that went. I was missing that piece. Oh my gosh. All right, 6. So now, right, Keanu's gone, middle of the night, and I think we just kind of kicks off with Sean waking up that next day now, a few hours later, in a cold sweat, basically being like, holy crap. So it sounds like if I want to keep living, I need to have a purpose, or at least have plans. And he's doing that kind of panicky thing, and maybe it could be a fun montage of him trying to figure out quickly that morning, like, what does that mean? Like, how does one have a purpose? He Googles purpose. It shows up pictures. Did you mean porpoise? And there's pictures of dolphins. And
I have work. I have to go to work next
Right,
week. That's
right,
my plan.
Right. It
Is that a plan?
Is work a purpose? And then
Yeah.
it's like right at the top article is like, if you think work is your purpose, you may have a mental health condition.
Going down an anti-capitalism
no.
rabbit hole.
What is a commune? And then so spinning his wheels a bit. But he kind of just walks outside, takes a breath or whatever, and is like, all right, let's do what I can. Like, the clock is ticking. Let's start small. Let me try and maybe he, like, in a panic, schedules kind of like a bunch of things. I don't know, what should he do here, John? Schedule a bunch, schedule 1 or 2. I imagine he kind of probably starts small, because again, like, this is like a child taking its first steps. Like,
Yeah.
Sean's never done this, ever like called a yoga studio or whatever, but like, can I
on his own?
right? Can I come in for me to have a class?
I need someone to call me and ask me to go to yoga. No, that'd be their
right,
plans.
exactly.
And I think as this has happened to me way too many times, as he's trying to learn what plans are, he's also got the telly on, and it's one of those DIY channels,
Perfect.
and they're
Perfect.
they're
This
like
is it.
doing a flip or flop house thing.
Yes.
And then, like, during a moment of quiet in his mind, you see him scan over to the television, and he's like, "Oh,
right.
I'm gonna make
Right.
plans to put some."
It's some woman crying in the front yard of her new house, being like, "Oh my God, it's everything I've ever wanted." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, that's what that woman wanted, a better house. I have a house. Let's make it better.
My
Let's
plan is to
HGTV
make my
this
house
shit."
better. He just declares it.
Right.
This is my plan.
This is it. This will keep me from dying, or it'll kill me in the process.
And
Somebody's-
then, as a feature film shout out to Brian, he goes into the wood store, Home Depot.
Of course.
Not this is
not
as close
the
as I can
forest.
get you, Brian. Into the wood store, buys a bunch of crooked 2x4s and some nails. And, well, he's probably handy enough where
Sure, he's fixing every house in the neighborhood.
Sure.
That's right. But now it's time to do his own house, which he never doesn't spend much time in because he's always busy helping other people. Because it's funny, I'm kind of imagining his house like an overgrown lawn, dead plants in the front, right? The inside's not painted; it's just all white.
True.
Like one chair, one table, one bed. Like again, he's out there just serving the community. And now he's like, I gotta my house is your house is the heart of your soul or whatever the fuck.
the house is the heart of your soul. Tale as old as time. The old egg in the hat.
He's like, I gotta improve my nest here. I gotta start at home. This will be easy.
Plus his
he
plan, and
thinks.
maybe that was like in the show. Like, he's like home improvement
Right.
plans, and he's like, oh my
Yeah,
god, plans. Yeah, so I get these plans.
That's good. Yes.
I'm gonna build a shed. No, it's a lot of work. I'm just gonna do something simple, like
some shelves.
put some shelves up on the
All right,
wall.
great.
I have plans to do the shelves. These are plans.
I'm
And
doing the plans.
goes out to the store on his own, and he gets distracted. He sees like a plunger that would have fit for Yvette's sink, and he
Ooh, yep.
sees the HVAC filter she probably needs. So
Yep.
he's picking that up, and then he's
Yep.
like, "Should I get this?
Son
Not
of
my
a
plans,
gun.
but he does it anyways because he is a kind person.
Exactly.
And he has to fix Yvette's thing, but it's also like, how can I stretch these shelves out for 8 days?
For 8 days to save my life. I love that, and I think this will be it's already his life. It's not going to change. He gets home. He's got the crooked 2x4s. He's got the nails. He's trying to find his hammer, and he probably as soon as he gets started, smacking nail number 1 into the wall. Phone rings, and it's somebody who's like, oh my god, I'm totally overwhelmed. I got this big presentation tomorrow. You help me with the last one. You know so much about the milk industry. I'm talking to Big Milk tomorrow. Can you come in and help me talk about cows and teats and things that matter to Big Milk?
I need a
It
full
sounds like
teat spreadsheet.
I know more about teats than anybody. I've been around so many. And yeah, so he never touched them, but changed a lot of.
I only wish I could breastfeed myself.
I'll keep maybe the next life. And so he again, like impulsively, without almost even thinking, just drops his stuff, goes and spends the rest of that day helping his friend who was overwhelmed with the big milk presentation. And it looks at the clock. It's almost midnight, and he's like, "Oh my gosh,
My own plans."
I got 6 days left now." Like it's that next day. Goes home tired, eats a Hot Pocket, passes out. And I was like, all right, well, I guess that was a disaster. Now I just have nails on the floor in my living room. But then maybe also it's kind of like shelves are not going to save me from the afterlife. Like maybe I need to go a little bit bigger. And again, maybe he has another kind of epiphany. Maybe he sees like a group of runners outside his house all running together. And he's like, it's not about me. It's never been about me. It's about community, doing stuff with other people. Gotta get out of the house. What do I do? And maybe he reaches into his cabinet that is 1 coffee cup, and he holds it in his hand, and he's like, I probably need more coffee cups. And an idea hatches of I could go to a pottery class, or
I
can
thought you
go
were
to
going to say plans to go shopping. That's how most of us avoid Keanu
He's like,
Reeves.
right, that's too quick. How do I make shopping for plates longer? Make the plates, make the cups. And so maybe that's like trip number 2 or attempt number 2 to keep Keanu off his tail is I'll just become a potter. I'll just learn how to pot, and I'll make pots until I die, which won't be 6 days from now.
As long as I'm not getting paid for it, it won't be a job. It'll
Right.
just be a plan.
And I want to do this.
And that might even it's probably like he has to sign up for the class, but it's a couple days away. So
Right. Okay.
he's got the plans for the class in 2 days, and it allows him to fix Yvette's HVAC and still just be like, I don't know why you have all these butt dancing videos on while I'm over here.
These workout videos that you're doing them in your bathing suit.
It's too hot in here to be doing that.
This is dangerous, Yvette. Right. It looks like more things are broken too. It looks like somebody took a hammer to the back of your toilet. You know anything about this? The hammer's right here and it's still wet. And your hand's wet. So yeah, Yvette's shooting her shot horribly. But he again gets it done. But that's another day gone. And I think even for like the pottery class, maybe his long-term goal there is like, all right, I got to have a purpose. Creativity's a purpose. Art's a purpose. I can't draw whatever pottery, everyone can pottery, or we can throw some clay. How hard could it be? I mean, same thing happens. The class begins, wet clay, things are going great, and then they start to not go great. And I'm sure he gets like a call or a text or whatever from someone else, and this cycle repeats. My car broke down, or I need help. And Sean's like, well, how could I not help?
True. He's still a good person. He's still himself. And he spent his whole life being people's backup plan.
He's kind of like a Batman type, maybe closer to a Robin, but
definitely a Robin.
Right. Once that happens, though, and people are like, the fire department in town, he can't take a day off, and he's kind of the handyman department.
I'm your plan B, or maybe I'm your plan S for Sean.
For Sean.
Yeah, I'm never anyone's plan A, but
no.
But he's done it for so long. Yeah, like, oh, Sean, are you free? My car broke down. I'm stuck at the airport and I can't get home. Could you maybe give me a ride?
I love this. And he goes there covered in clay and water and smelling like patchouli. And, his friend's like, thanks, it smells weird in here.
You've been to a pottery class, Harrison.
But again, gets stuck in traffic, eats away at the rest of the day, finally gets his friend home, and that's another day gone. So he's just ripping through this week. He probably has 4 days left now, maybe, if I'm mathing correctly. And so he's probably feeling the heat from like, all right, I'm gonna be taken away by Keanu Reeves in my kitchen Sunday night if I don't do something.
And he just hasn't found it yet. I think it's a good. We've shown a couple of failures, and Sean resiliently being Sean and still dropping his plans to go help people.
Yeah.
So it's a good moment for him to kind of like, okay, building a shelf, I don't care about that. Pottery smells bad. I don't even think I like pottery. I need to find a plan, like a sustainable plan, not just building a pottery or a shelf. I need to find a person.
Do you think he, like, in a moment of panic, like goes to Brock and Elaine and is like, guys, I have to tell you something. I need your help. And like Elaine drops her plate and Brock like pulls his hair out. He's like, you need our help. Jokes on his sausage or whatever. And he's like, you need us to help. Oh my God. I thought you'd never say that. Yeah, man. Like, you got about 1,000 IOUs from us. So what's going on? What's going on? We can help with whatever. He's like, okay, well, before you say that, let me explain, and like just downloads the Keanu Reeves kitchen ghost death person onto them, and they're like just kind of standing there stunned, but maybe just accept it, or be like, oh boy, Sean's going through something, let's help him work through his fantasy. And through that conversation, maybe Elaine is like, you tried pottery and yoga and shelves, like you're not thinking big enough. Like, life is way more than just hobbies. Like, you need to find love or whatever. She throws that out there. That like, maybe this is the big swing you should be taking.
Yes.
And
before I met Brock, his plans for the Green Bay Packers.
Right. Great plans.
They only play for 20 weeks out of the year.
Right.
So most of the time less. So now that we've been together, if I pick up what you're putting down, Elaine is kind of helping him discover what his plans could be.
Yeah, and maybe he left out of the story like, I have 4 days to figure this out. So climbing the mountain of love in 4 days is impossible. But he's, again, 4 days. He's panicked. He's kind of like, oh, I'm trying anything at this point. But it's like, where do I start? And then Brock and Elaine and maybe are both like, what do you mean? And he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? He's like, the neighbor, Emma, on the other side of us. You talk to her every day. You stand there for an hour in the driveway while she downloads all the stupid guys that dump her right into your brain. You smile and give her great advice. We all see it. Like, I figured this would be a no-brainer. Even though we haven't introduced Emma yet, we're doing it now.
Yep. We all know Emma now. Emma's Yvette, but younger and less. Right. less desperate, less
Right.
less
She's into
predatory.
She's into the hedge, trimming her bushes instead of fixing her plumbing. And
That's a real fun play on words you did there, Harrison.
and so that maybe Sean just turns right around and walks across the driveway to Emma's house, and she's there happily gardening and hoping that maybe today's the day Sean realizes, picks up what she's putting down. And he, with no suaveness at all, is just like, Emma, coffee tomorrow? And she's like, yeah, of course. I have no plans. He's like, that's usually my line or whatever. They have some funny little moment that's nice and makes people go, oh, this will work out. This is it. They'll figure it out. It was Emma all along.
Yeah, Sean's probably got a couple of like no plans, I'm your man, like little plan related one-liners. That I'm sure he would have shared when Emma said no plans. I like that. It's like a little ting moment in the movie.
Yes, I like this.
Yeah, I'm free for you, Sean.
Free whenever you want. Tomorrow morning, coffee. Let's do it.
So at this point in the film, we've kind of like, we've done our introduction, we've dragged through the big second act, and now we've gotten help from an outsider in Elaine.
Yeah.
And we've met Emma, and we've got a date plan. So Elaine kind of told us what we need to do.
Right.
And then Sean went and executed, and Emma agreed. So I would think at this point, it feels like we're coming into a new stage of the film, going to meet Emma for coffee.
Exactly. This might be it. Should be it, right? Hold on. Do we know Sean? And so that day at the coffee shop, things keep going really well until maybe like they're talking. Emma's mentioning like, I don't know, my ex, we're talking again. We're just trying to see what's what. Lets that slip. And Sean's unfazed, happy as can be. But as that's happening, someone else calls him and is, in tears about their own breakup or something. So once again, Sean is called to duty, and he really just like can't help himself. But maybe this is the first time where he's like on the phone with the person in tears and looking at Emma, and for the first time in his life, is like, I don't know what to do. He has that hesitation. I don't know what to do. I'm having a really great time with Emma. We're talking. She has problems as well. I could help her. But this person's calling me in a panic. Like everything, every cell in his body is telling him to get up except maybe one. It's like, wait a second, Sean. What are you doing? Why are you running away from this great thing that's happening right in front of you? What are you afraid of, Sean? But I think he does. I think he walks away because he, again, like can't break his habit that quickly, which of course is like a huge bummer to Emma, that Sean's just going to ditch this date to go get help somebody else. And
and maybe he even says like, yeah, I'm professionally planless. I'll help you out. I'll be right there.
Right. And that's a red flag for her of like, my God, this guy is great, but he is kind of always at the beck and call of everybody else. This probably wouldn't go anywhere if we did anything. Maybe she starts to doubt it. And he goes, helps the friend, maybe tries to reconnect with Emma, and she's like, look, like, you're nice, you're my neighbor, but I'm sorry. Like,
I do have plans.
Right.
Now.
I have plans. I'm trying to have plans. Like, I don't want to be digging in the dirt, pretending to cut my bushes so I can get your attention every time I get your mail for the rest of my life. I should probably do something else. We tried. It wasn't there. I'm sorry I wasted your time. It just kind of goes inside. And this could be that big aha moment for Sean. Finally, it breaks through to his brain of like, has he really just been going along with life? Is he just available forever? Is he the town bitch? Right? Like, is he just kind of getting walked all over by people? Or is him being available all the time, again, like a deeper calling? He likes being supportive, likes helping out. But he's kind of ping-ponging in his head, like, right, am I just the rug everyone walks over, the welcome rug that people are wiping their feet on?
I'm the human equivalent of an empty parking space.
Right, exactly. Right. Is that what he is? Or is he like the blanket that the whole town uses to stay warm? I don't know what the equivalent of that is, but, is he good or is he a waste? And
can two things be true?
right at the same time.
But Sean's not thinking that.
Right.
He's flitting between his heart's calling, which is to serve others.
Right.
And
yeah.
And keeps failing when he
I was
tries
going
to
to say, at this point, he's failed so many times at trying to live his own life. He's like, why am I fighting so hard to just do stuff to do it? I'm perfectly happy with the life I have. Why do I feel this way? Well, I don't want to die, but like, why is it so tough for me to live this other life that I think I should be living? That doesn't feel like how life should be. I should be happy like I was with what I'm doing, not trying to live some life that I think I should be living for somebody else. That's the real prison. Doing whatever Keanu Reeves tells you to do. That's no one wants to be in that situation.
I mean,
he's
some of us would.
Yeah, of course.
And that's a good. So Sean's tried. We got excited about Emma and the coffee. Yep. Sean stayed true to his roots, and as he's having this like come to Jesus moment, walking home, like realizing that he's failed, but he is who he is.
Yeah,
I think this is a perfect time in the film for Sean's alarm to go off. Like, be a date with Keanu tonight, date with Destiny or whatever, and he's like, oh my God, he's gonna be when I get home. He's gonna be there. And I don't.
Holy crap!
What plans do I have? I canceled the pottery class. I fixed the HVAC for Crazy Sex Fiend.
I blew it with Emma.
Blew my date with Emma.
All I have are chores for other people in my future.
I guess I could say I'm gonna finish my shelves.
Right.
Maybe they're the ones that'll save him. Maybe his first plan was the right one.
Right. Let me run inside, work on those shelves right away. But and maybe he does that, but Keanu's already in there, just reappears, calm, kind of telling Sean, all right, you try, like looking at the shelves, being like, really? Shelves? You thought shelves was going to get you on planet Earth? I can make these to the snap of my finger. The shelves are not it. It just shows how little you know and how bad we messed up. We're going to get you out of here real quick. So say goodbye to whoever, any fish, any pets. I have none of those things. Of course you don't. Okay. So like it's Keanu's ready to just blast him into the ether. And maybe that's gotta be when, and I think it's his friends kind of save him here. So instead of it being love or relationship, a new hobby, a new something, I think it is what we've been talking about, that Sean's purpose is to help other people. It makes him happy. Great. So what? He's free to do whatever he wants. That's not quite enough for Keanu yet, but his friends are going to sweep in and maybe drive that point home a little bit right now.
And we've already demonstrated that Keanu has to abide by a set of rules that he also made. But there's some room to negotiate. So maybe the last friend he helped to move, I don't know why he comes through the door, but okay. So let me know if this works.
Yeah.
Emma said she had plans, right? But she still really liked Sean.
Right.
She said she had plans because her and the other people that are in Sean's life were planning a surprise birthday party for Sean. Sean didn't even know it was his birthday today.
Of course. His calendar app thinks he's dead, so he had no idea it was his birthday. So he has no plans. It's trying to delete itself off his phone.
Why do we even have this thing?
It's his birthday. So this is great.
And that's also why. Okay, so this works. It was going to be his, let's say, 35th birthday.
Great.
And that was Keanu's I can't have him go 35 years, so this is going to be the last day.
Okay.
And here we see the early friend he helped move, that guy barges into the door and he's like, oh my God, happy birthday. Realize what's going on. Keanu Reeves is
here, everybody.
Holy Sean, you got
Keanu Reeves.
No, it is Keanu Reeves, but he's also an omnipotent, interdimensional creature who wants to take me away because I never have any plans. Never have any plans?
Right.
This guy helped me move a couch away more than 3 cities. I wouldn't be able to stand up without him.
Blowing up my back, yeah. Ooh, I love this. Okay, so it's kind of a parade of people from his past and his present who start coming in for this surprise birthday party just as Keanu's going to take him away. That this is awesome. Brock and Elena are in there with the kids, and
I thought you guys were going to the Bahamas.
exactly. Had to cancel. So and so was sick. Oh, did you got his inhaler? No, we lost it. Don't worry, I have this extra one right here. Ba-ding. So Sean's there to help with them, and Yvette down the street comes in with like trying to sneak a hammer into whispering, if I break his toilets and I'm in his house, maybe he'll Yvette, what are you doing here?
I'm just gonna hide. I was here to hide in Sean's bed.
Right, are you for the party too? Yes.
Why are you wearing your bathrobe?
Completely here for the party. I wasn't trying to sneak in, surprise you when you got home. So she's there. Old lady with the cats show up, and they're walking around being weird. Old man with the iPad. Everybody who he's helped.
Sean helped me find that there are midgets doing stuff on the internet.
I bought a wife on this iPad thanks to Sean.
I probably would have
She's on her
died
way.
a week ago,
Right.
but Sean gave me a reason to keep living in the
Keanu's
form
like,
of downloadable movies.
Yeah, I know. I saw your reason for living. I don't know if it's the reason, but I guess
Your plans are
or something.
very similar to an 18-year-old.
But technically they're allowed for now. So yeah, I love this. This is great. So now obviously the picture is being painted that Sean, by helping all these people, is more meaningful in their lives maybe than even Sean realized, and maybe Keanu's character acted like he didn't realize. And it could be that like this is just a big test Keanu's kind of thrown on Sean to make sure he's kind of aware at what he's doing and how valuable he is. And if this is your life, okay, you have the option to kind of try to do something differently and take a little more of it for yourself. But if you don't want to, I'm not going to stop you. He doesn't need to say that, but
Maybe
that's kind of the
being
takeaway.
available isn't a glitch. Maybe it's your purpose. I can't
Here we
do
go.
it. I can't do it.
That's fine. It's a young Nick Nolte.
Bend the spoon.
Yeah, that's right. There's a twinkle in his eye, and then Keanu eats a cookie and walks behind the fridge again. And everyone's like, where's Keanu going? Did he just go through your wall behind the fridge?
It wasn't Keanu. I mean, it was
Guys,
Keanu, but it is also a creature that controls time and space and
Right.
all human life, I think. I'm not
Right.
really sure.
Right. Well, did he bring a cake at least? And then a cake appears on the table. Like, oh, all right, that was cool. Can we eat this, or is it going to kill us?
Yeah.
And this is perfect. That kind of is how the party ends or goes on that night. They're celebrating, they're happy, and Sean is sweating a little bit less because it seems like, I mean, he's satisfied whatever thing he needed to do with Keanu and gets to keep living his life. Even though, no longer kind of dreading or feeling weird about his no plan life. He's embracing it. His, no plans, no problem. His plans aren't everything. Life is what you make it. I don't know.
Some people have bucket lists. I have a bucket full of other people's lists.
Right. Well, that bucket's full. And as long as your bucket's full, you got a reason to be here.
Yeah, I think it's overall, it's just a statement that no matter what you're doing with your life, you can choose to do it, and Keanu Reeves can't take you away for it. although he was going to, had Sean not been such a value to his friends that came to vouch for him. But Keanu Reeves in this case is played by every mother-in-law. It's like, you're not doing everything with your life. And like, actually,
enough.
If Sean wouldn't have walked my cats,
Right.
they
would have eaten me. They needed to get energy out. They were hunting me, it turns out. Waiting for me to take a nap. They would have pounced, but Sean got all his energy out. Never trust cats. And this is awesome. And there could be a fun little postscript, maybe to just do a little wink and nod to the audience there of 6 months later or 3 months later, Sean's at a barbecue at Brock and Elaine's house, like fixing their gutters while everyone else is enjoying the party, climbs down from the ladder, and Emma's there, kind of with the idea of maybe I can a second chance it with, get a second crack at this thing with Sean now that he's not being hunted by an interdimensional being. It looks like Keanu Reeves. He maybe has a little more time for a relationship, and they start talking and stuff and hit it off, maybe.
Hit it off definitely
Okay.
in the closing line of the show, I think, is Emma just saying, like, you know, hey, I realize things ended kind of quickly with us at the coffee shop, but as I thought about it, I think it's really cool that you always make yourself available to your friends. Are you doing anything tomorrow? To which Sean replies, no plans.
No plans. I love that. And they smile and embrace or make out. And then we could leave this out or add it. You know, Sean could be like, well, I mean, I got to get over to Yvette's and fix the stone that fell off her thing, but you can come along and help if you want. And then maybe that could be kind of how it ends. Is, and we don't need to see this as the audience,
Naked
but
threesome?
it's like
And the old man watching through the window.
here we go. Record on this thing, son of a bitch. Sorry. Record. Other way. Flip the camera around. Sorry, it's happening. It's finally
Watching himself watch them.
Whose belly is that? It's like my stomach, but reverse. So yeah, maybe sure it could take a wild turn, or you know, you could just go on these house calls with Emma now and have a partner in crime. I like the naked threesome with Yvette. She gets a happy ending. Everyone gets happy endings, literally and figuratively.
Yvette gets what she wants. Emma gets confused.
Right? Wait, what did I just agree to?
And Sean sits back with the old guy eating chicken, watching it all unfold. You know, it'd be cool is if one of them was only 3 feet tall.
Why do you keep saying that? You talk it a lot.
Check out my iPad, kid.
You
Look
want
at
me to delete my history?
I thought I told you to do incognito, Larry.
Incognito. That's my wife's middle name. Have you met her yet? She's upstairs in the closet. Whew. All right. So we did it. Once again, a whole friggin' movie smashed into an episode. And it was fun. Lighthearted, a good time, changing it up. Reminded me a little bit of Joint Resolution and a few others, obviously in a good way.
I'm glad we didn't go the full like rom-com with it though.
Yeah,
like
no.
it felt like, I mean, sure you could say that it was, and there might be more like little Sean and Emma jingles in between, but
Right. Yeah.
I'm okay with it ending there because I really like that touch, but
Right.
it was nice that it
Yes.
wasn't about finding romance
Right.
that saved him. It was about him making
Find his own purpose, not finding someone else to pretend you have a purpose with. It's dangerous. Don't do that. Find it within yourself.
true. That's how you end up on vacation in Virginia.
Yeah, I want to go. Yeah, I do. I want to go.
Yeah,
I can't
it
wait
sounds
to go.
great. You went to college there for a semester. Great state. No slight, Virginia. It is. There's some good things in Virginia,
Sure.
but I mean, like there's not tourism stuff really popping off
No way.
unless you're going with your new wife.
There you go. Fair enough. I'll take your word for it, John. But with that, okay, we're done. Remember, follow us on Instagram, online, Google, machine. You know how to find us. You know how it works. We do
Yeah.
fun stuff on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and Spotify. Yeah, but this was a good one. Another one in the books.
Would you rather have no plans or plans every day? Leave us a voice message
Ooh,
on the website or
yes.
one of Harrison's social media links.
That's
That'll be
right.
fun to play next
That's
episode.
right. Tell us about your plans or no plans. But until that episode, John,
I think it's time for peace.
punch.
And give me your lunch. Midget. Sorry, Harrison.
Oh,
I don't
good
know how
Lord.
that even got worked in there. But